So it's very similar to other classic Mega Man games. You can jump, you can slide, you can charge a Mega Buster, you can summon Rush. There's two new things about this game, which is a Power Gear and Speed Gear. The Power Gear allows you to overcharge your weapons so that you can do more powerful special weapon attacks, kind of like the X series. You can also power up your regular Mega Buster into a two-shot Mega Buster. The Speed Gear allows you to actually enter bullet time. You'll see the gear icons right below their health here, and if they max out that meter, they're not going to be able to use it until it completely depletes. They basically overheat. So that's going to be a major thing to look for. They're going to be utilizing this Power Gear a lot to try and kill bosses as quickly as possible, especially in boss fights. It's important. And already, we're going to Impact first, and that's because Impact's weapon is basically an air dash. It is so good for speedrunning. It is insane. So they're going to be going to Impact first. Even though it's not the fastest stage to do with Buster only, getting the Impact weapon is definitely 100% worth it. And you are going to see some slightly different strats here. I know Chelney is going to go for a fully charged Buster in a couple rooms coming up. I don't know if Moo goes for that, so we'll see. It will be exciting, like even though it's the same stage order and this is the fastest stage order, it'll be interesting to see how their strategies are a little bit. Now, the boss they're coming up with, I don't know if MooMoo's going to do it, but they're going to try. Yeah, Chelney's doing it. He's going to try, and he successfully is charging up that Buster as he walks to the door. That does 16 damage. MooMoo getting it as well, so that's really great. That speeds up that fight a lot. This guy is a real pain in the butt to do with Buster. Now, the other thing you'll see they're mashing is extremely good. It's because they're not actually mashing. There is a built-in auto-fire button in the game. Oh, Chelney getting through the big room. That room is so scary to get through. Just riding the platforms there is so slow. You really have to make it through, or you lose something silly like 16 seconds. Coming up on the boss, and assuming, you know, all these screens go well, we'll see. There's some crazy strats you can go for here, but I don't think we're going to see those in a race. The boss Impact Man, each boss has a gear phase of their own. Impact uses Power Gear, and after you do 13 damage to him, he's going to go invincible for 16 seconds. We don't want that to happen. That's 16 seconds just wasted. So we're going to try and lure him into one of his attacks, and then kill him. We're going to do exactly 12, get him to do an attack, and then try and get 2 Power Busters in before that attack finishes, because he won't go into Power Gear until the attack he's currently doing is over. Here we go. Chelney getting a good pattern. Chelney gets it. Ooh, MooMoo he went for a more conservative fight, but he actually had a little bit of trouble with it, so he's losing some time there. He was just maybe a second behind Chelney going into that fight, but he probably lost 4 or 5 seconds on Chelney. Let me see, it was 3:15 when that weapon gets stage loaded. Almost a full 10 seconds behind Chelney right now. So that's not unrecoverable. This game is extremely intense, and anything, I want to stress, anything can happen. This game is crazy. We have seen very good runners just die repeatedly in this game because the strats are too hard. So Tundra, you're going to see them using Impact. They're going to be impacting through enemies, and unlike earlier Mega Man games, they're going to be praying for drops. If you get weapon energy, it is basically free time saved in this game. So every little bit of weapon energy is going to go to Impact, and it's going to allow them to move even faster. Now, Impact is the air dash, but it's also actually the fastest form of movement in the entire game. So if you're ever at a situation where you're wondering, like, hey, should I Impact here? The answer is always basically yes. Like, Impact is always faster. The only limiting thing is, should I Impact here or there? Because you only have so much ammo. So you have to manage your ammo and make sure you're impacting where you want to impact, where it's going to save you the most time. And usually that's going to be times where there's obstacles or things. You know, if it's a straight flat room that you can easily slide straight through, you're not really saving much time there. If it's a huge pit or something, or a bunch of spikes or really difficult enemies, yeah, you want to impact there. Chelney using Speed Gear there to buster down that boss a little bit faster, or basically in 1 second. The Speed Gear does actually slow Mega Man down. It slows the other enemies around him down more, though. So in comparison to the enemies, he's going faster, but we actually don't want to do it more than we have to because it actually does slow Mega Man down. There's an upgrade in the shop that removes that drawback, but we haven't worked that into our route yet. And they both grabbed a W tank, and there's 4 of them available through stages, and I expect these guys are going to be picking up all 4. There's also a shop where you can buy more, and there's a big kind of divergence right now versus shop runners. The world record holder, Peony, currently does a big shop trip where he buys, I think, 5 or maybe even 6 W tanks at the shop. He doesn't actually even use them all. He has a spare one left at the end of the game. The second place runner is only a couple seconds behind. That's QTT6. He doesn't do it at all. He does not buy, he doesn't visit the shop at all. So there's huge differences in strats. And it's really cool how they come out to be pretty similar. Chelney, just 4 power busters and Tundra Man's going to go down. This is kind of considered one of the easier boss fights in the game, at least with the buster. It's pretty straightforward. You can only really mess it up if you let him hit you. Or if you shoot him way too late. Now, you'll see them shooting while he's still in iframes there. And it's because the red buster actually goes through iframes. The first hit, the blue buster, does 3 damage, it doesn't. But the red buster does 5. That goes straight through iframes. So they're going to be using it sometimes when otherwise they would just be waiting for the boss to be vulnerable again. Why not get in a quick buster hit and do 5 damage while you're waiting? Torch is an extremely intense stage that they're going to go into. Chelney sliding into a tent already. So this stage is very much about drops, and there's a lot of differences in the stage that you can get. Chelney having a little bit of issue there. He almost overheated his gear. I'm pretty sure that Power Tundra was not intentional. Fortunately, he's going to be using a W tank in this stage. Virtually everyone uses one of the W tanks in this stage. So there's so many uses for impact in this stage. Even with the W tank strats, you're still praying for more drops on top of the full refill you're getting. Because there's just so many things you can do with impact here. This is an almost completely horizontal stage. This mini boss is just going to get burned now. 1, 2, 3, boom. Goodbye. 3 power tundras. They are spamming the power tundras by sliding real quick. So if you slide after you use power tundra, it resets the cooldown. It's a neat little glitch for you. Chelney's in the W tank. We'll see what grab he goes for here. He freezes the fire. Okay. You can grab that W tank without freezing the fire, but you better not get hit or it's going to be bad. That fire is a 1-hit KO. And I missed what happened with Moo, but I assume he probably froze the fire as well. It is a little bit faster to skip the Tundra because the Tundra holds you in place for a second when you use it. Now, Chelney coming through here, the last stages. Torchman coming up. Torchman has a power gear. Now, the only thing that hurts him during power... Chelney having a little trouble. The only thing that hurts him during power gear is Tundra. So they're going to be using 2 power Tundras to push him into power gear, or normal Tundra after power gear, and then 1 more power Tundra to finish him off. You're probably going to see a slightly different fight in the refights because they actually don't have enough Tundra to go around in the refights, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Shoutouts to definitely not Fireman here, by the way. Definitely not Fireman. I am playing a little bit. The bosses were very clearly inspired by the original 6 Robot Masters, at least, some of them. Impact Man is very similar to Guts Man in his stage, with the platforms and the Mets. And Fuse Man is very clearly an Elect Man knockoff. You can see even his head is similar to Fireman's. One of the neat things actually is one of the original visions. You can see Mega Man's appearance dramatically changes when he uses a weapon in this game. That was actually something they planned for the original Mega Man for NES, and they had to drop it due to just limitations, hardware limitations. But it's something they've been able to bring back in this, and it's really... By the way, going into Blast Man, this stage, you're intended to use the little guys and use the tripwires to blow up the boxes so you can proceed. That's really slow. We don't want to do that. So instead, we're going to use the torch weapon, which blows up the boxes immediately. So we're actually going to use all our torch the blow up boxes, and we're going to save none for the boss. And we're going to kill boss with Tundra and Buster. Killing the boss with Buster is about basically as fast as using Torch, and it's actually, in my opinion, easier. The Torch fight is really hard. We might see it from Chelney in the refights, because again, you don't have enough Tundra to go around. Coming up to a couple dangerous rooms for Chelney. He's going to try, if he's going to do what I think he's going to do, he's going to try and rush coil over these exploding blocks. Yeah, here we go. It is, oh, he grabbed the ladder. If you do it right, you don't have to grab the ladder at all, but it is very risky. Falling down a little bit there. So in this next room, he's going to blow up the blocks above his head and use that to proceed faster, other than like going to the right and up and around like you're supposed to. Chelney going into Blast Man here, and we're going to see him use a little bit of speed here at the end. That's going to be just to allow a little bit of time for his iframes to run, actually, because if we don't do that, the last Buster shot will just hit his iframes. Beautiful fight there. Moomoo's caught up a little bit. Let's see the teleport times here. We're through 4 Robot Masters, so that's about 1/3 of the game, at least as far as the number of stages goes. Probably not actual time. Chelney, 11:39. Barely 11:39. So Moomoo's caught up. Moomoo's only about 6 seconds behind, so he was 10 leaving Impact. And now he's made his way up to 6. Now, for killing 4 Robot Masters, it's not like prior Mega Mans. You kill any 4 Robot Masters, now you have Rush Jet. Rush Jet uses the same ammo meter as Rush Coil, which, by the way, you always have active whenever you have Buster. So that's going to be interesting because you have to manage it. And a lot of times they're actually going to prefer to use Rush Coil, because doing a quick jump off of Rush Coil only takes 2 ammo, whereas using Rush Coil takes 4. Excuse me, Rush Jet takes 2 ammo, Rush Coil takes 4. I think I said that wrong. Yeah, Moomoo. Actually, I'd like to take this time to plug. Moomoo made a very useful, if you're interested in speedrunning this game at all, Moomoo made a very interesting video guide for this game. He has a YouTube channel called Moomoo Strats, and it gives you a video tutorial, which is most of the strats. Oh, Chelney having some trouble with Rush. Rush can be kind of finicky sometimes. Sometimes he doesn't want to appear where you want him to. Using Impact there to go over that conveyor belt. Sliding on the conveyor belt is like barely faster than normal walking, so it's good to use your Impacts there. Oh, he almost hit that. You don't want to hit a wall with Impacts, basically ever. Kind of like Legend of Zelda. If you know bonking when you're dashing, like there's a very similar thing where if you hit a wall with Impact, you get stuck, and then you bounce off of it and go backwards, and it's really bad. It can also lead to some deaths if you do it at the wrong time. That mini boss, by the way, is such a piece of cake. He's such a pain if you do him casually, but like the mini bosses in this game all just get destroyed. I'm bad at video games, Sage. It's my special power. So I should explain a little bit. They're going to be coming up on Blockman soon. You're going to see a really neat quick kill, hopefully. So if you remember, this is the demo stage, actually. And Blockman has a giant golem that he turns into if you do a certain amount of health. I think it might be 12 as well. So we don't want to see that, obviously. We don't want to fight the golem, because golem has a whole separate health bar, and it takes a long time, and you have to wait for him to transform, and then you have to do a third phase after the golem. We just want to kill him. So we're going to do a Tundra, 2 blasts, and then 4 blasts. And while those 4 blasts blow up, we're going to charge a final Buster to do the last 16 damage. Here we go. Looks good so far. He's got to time the last shot. Good. The last shot, it's a pretty small time frame that you have to get that last shot in on him. Both of them get it beautiful. That's the kind of thing, you know, it hurts when you do it in a race. I have done it in a race in this tournament, because you know, like, oh god, if he got that, he just saved like 15 seconds on me. So let's see. Chelney's screen faded to black from the stage selected 1455. Let's see here. Still about maybe a little bit more. Moo might have lost a little bit of time and blocked Chelney. So about 7 or 8 seconds behind. That is, again, not at all. That is just a single death behind. And there are, not that I'm wishing this on anyone, but there are so many ways to just get destroyed in this game. So many. Bounce band stage, by the way, is probably one of the hardest to execute. You cannot slide over the bouncy balls, so they're going to be using impact to go over those. You also are going to see them using a lot of rush coil. It's a really vertical stage. So they're going to be using rush coil a lot, and they're going to be trying and kind of like trying to time it so that they run out of both at the same time. So when they W tank, they get a full refill on both. And then to make things worse, impact is the boss's weakness. So you want to save at least 2 power impacts. Oh, Chelney got the RNG drop and got a big drop out of it. I don't know what his plan is to do with that, but that's bizarre. So there's a very low chance that enemies will drop what they call a roulette drop. That is, by the way, Chelney bonking. Fortunately, he has extra ammo. He's a little bit, seemed a little bit lost. Managed to get up in there. That's the Reeb strat. Most people just blow the guy up and grab the ammo, but Chelney went over him. Yeah, you just saw that on MooMoo's stream. Blow the guy up instead of jumping over him. There's a W tank. That's about a standard spot for it if you haven't had any drop luck. So Chelney didn't really do too much with that drop. Little hop up that rush call to just save him like another half a second. Movement, as with all Mega Man speedruns, movement is so important in this game. If each screen you're saving like, you know, a half or even a quarter of a second, it adds up to so much over the course of the run. Chelney Frog. If no one else has it in chat, I'll put it in. It's my duty. There you go. That's the best mini boss. Now Chelney going up that elevator shaft, and you'll see Moo doing it too. You're supposed to go up to the top and fall down. Ooh, that's bad luck for Moo. But if you're careful, you can trick the game. Oh no. Moo was gaining on Chelney in this stage, but he just gave away a lot of time. He has to do it the proper way. You're supposed to go all the way up there and fall from the top and trick the game into thinking that you basically went all the way up there and around. You can just go up the bottom of the well. Chelney clearing out Bounce Band. Bounce Band is a really easy boss fight. Fortunately, like, they didn't put an extremely hard boss at the end of this hellish stage. They just put a kind of a pushover. I think most people will say he's probably the easiest boss in the game. Easiest quick kill. Him and Tundra are pretty. I'm sure Peony will find some way to make this fight impossible, though. Crazy fight that saves like a fraction of a second. So going into Fuse, and I think Moo does Fuse. The last 2 stages are interchangeable. You don't need one's weapon for the other yet. They both do Fuse 7th. You could go into Acid here, and it doesn't really make a difference. Now, Fuse, neither of them, I think, are doing W-Tank strats here yet. Maybe Chelney is. I'm not sure. We'll see. I actually missed if they picked up the W-Tank in Bounce. That's the one that you would usually skip if you just want. So the big thing with this stage, you see like the little lasers are basically keeping you on a cycle. Oh, Chelney. Fortunately, you don't need too much rush set for this stage, but that is like a lot of time lost. Moo has a chance to make some up here. Oh, Moo falls down though, so he's making mistakes. Though his isn't quite as bad. Yeah, so Chelney's just sliding through here. He's going to try and take a damage boost. A lot of it is finding ways to get through these cycles. So you can impact through them if they're horizontal, or sometimes you can just, like Chelney did, just damage boost and go up through them if they're vertical. We'll see what Moo does here. Now, Moo is going for the no W-Tank strats as well. Now, that mini boss, by the way, just absolutely gets destroyed by Incredible. Coming up to Fuse. Fuse is actually one of the cooler quick kills in the game. Like, You really should watch it both times just to make sure you see it, because it is such a cool quick kill. Oh, Chelney getting stepped on. Yikes. Missed that strat, but not too bad. I mean, you just gotta wait instead. There's a strat in that room where you rush jet and skip some cycles there. Actually, might not have enough rush to do it and kill the boss. So maybe that's why I didn't go for it. Yeah, this is a really cool quick kill. You're gonna see some power gear, some speed gear, some bounce, some power busters, a lot of rush coil and flying through the air. It's one of the harder ones, but it's definitely fun when you do it. There you go. That's pretty much perfect. Could have been like maybe a little bit cleaner. Still better than my time. Yeah, the weapon switching is insane in this game. So if you haven't played it, you can switch weapons with the right joystick. You just push it in the direction of that boss on the... So Moo, by the way, messed up the quick kill, but it wasn't that bad. So long as you get most of the quick kill, you still do most of his health. So he only lost a couple seconds in the boss. Chelney going in Acid, which is going to be our 8th row master here. And then we have 4 Wily stages after that. And that's going to be it. So if you didn't know, you can switch weapons by tapping the joystick. You see the little like diagram come up around Mega Man when he changes weapons. If you push the right control stick in the direction of that weapon, you get that weapon. Mega Man will equip it, which means it's like even better than the fast weapon switching in the X games, where you can like hit L and R to fast switch weapons, or if you're like me, you know, not L and R because you put slide on L. Slide, dash, same difference, right? But in this game, you can really get some cool strats using fast weapon switch, because you can basically take out any weapons at any time, even if they're not like traditionally next to each other on the... Whereas in other games, you're limited by like what you can kind of physically do, you know. Lots of spikes, by the way. You're going to see him coming up to a mini boss here. He's going to be using... Oh, he cut it really close! You're going to see them using either the fuse or the blast weapon, which kind of makes you stop in midair for a second, and the effect is more exaggerated underwater, which most of the stage is underwater. And that lets them like get a little bit of height back and also delay their fall a little bit, so they can float over things that they normally couldn't. You still fall slowly, but not that bad. Chelney getting drops. He's a little low on block, but I'm pretty sure he's still got enough to make the quick call. I'm kind of surprised he didn't impact there. Like, he's got a lot of impact left. I don't know what he's saving it for. Now, sliding through that acid, these guys do shoot acid into the water. And if you let them basically acidify the water, it eventually becomes like damaging to Mega Man. Fortunately, neither of them have had to worry about that. Okay, Chelney did find a use for all his impacts, so that's good. So here comes Acid. Acid's fairly easy. A block, 2 power busters, and 2 more blocks, and that should do it, assuming the fight has gone correctly. And Chelney nails it. Yeah, believe it or not, this is not the NES sequel to Mega Man 1. So Chelney's going to be going into the Wily stages, and let's see what time he selects a stage. I missed the teleport. 2351. So let's see with, let's remember that, 2351, and let's watch Moo. Wily 1 is such a dangerous stage. You're impacting through the air, over enemies and dodging bullets, and you're going to be trying to pick up energy drops as you impact through the air. It's so intense. 2412, so about 20 seconds behind. I mean, that still is not a lot. That's 1 death or a couple of bad mistakes. A botched Yellow Devil quick kill. And yeah, I mean, the Wily 1 is just an insane stage, and it's so dangerous. So many mistakes just lead to death and huge time loss. This run has killed like many PB. Picking up the weapon refills. Fortunately, there are a ton of just weapon refills lying around in this stage, and that lets you do a lot of stuff with impact. Yeah, a death could easily equalize it. Oh, this room Chelney's in is so scary. That bullet. Oh my god. That tiny little bullet. For some reason, I guess whoever programmed this game never thought that you would keep a bullet on that screen for that long, because they don't really seem to have a terminal velocity. They just like keep getting faster as long as they're on screen into infinity. Chelney with a little bit of speed gear to get up there quickly. And Chelney's basically at the Yellow Devil boss fight. So Yellow Devil, he's going to try and do 4 small blasts and then latch. That'll put Yellow Devil in the speed gear phase. And he's going to try and latch 4 small blasts onto one of the little guys and then detonate him when he jumps up to the top of the screen near the vulnerable guy in the back. It's crazy. You have to see it. So there's the first 4. Now he's going to shoot 4 across the room. There we go. That's good. 3 more power blasts and he's good. Or 2 more. That's a good Yellow Devil quick kill. Little bit of lag on MooMoo's screen. Hopefully, yeah. Looks like everything's going alright. He takes a damage boost there. So this is a slightly different version of the fight. Still around as fast. It does require a lot of health. Oh, he missed the last one. He shot it just a little bit too early. He still gets a 1 cycle though. Chelney going into Wily 2. This stage, it's not as like instant death kind of dangerous, but you can lose a lot of time on the stage, and there's a particularly nasty room. Everyone knows the Sniper Joe room. That room can easily mess you up. Little bit of mistakes there. Climbing up. It's also kind of a long stage, and the boss is really scary too. It's easy to take a death against the boss. Don't ask me if anyone has ever watched my stream. I don't want to talk about it. Bullets too fast in CC. Shoutouts to Fast at CC, by the way, who's like the 4th place runner who I just mentioned, and got the fastest English-speaking stream time. So he's the one that I get all my strats from, and then realize I can't do his strat. Chelney coming through a really nice room here, really like kind of pleasing room. Shows off the game really well, just switching between weapons constantly, impacting, blowing things up with the blast. Grabbing these weapon drops. He might impact over this next room, we'll see. Yep, impacting over this next room. Now the boss coming up, Malvern, kind of has like this outer shell thing. He's similar to, though I don't think he is a boss from Mega Man 5. So what you're going to see them do is use mounts to kind of open up the shell and then hit them with bouncy balls or powered impacts or maybe a Mega Buster. It's like you got to hit them with a bouncy ball, a power impact, another bouncy ball, a Mega Buster, and a power impact. It's really weird, but it looks nice. He's also going to take a damage boost at the start to make that impact a lot easier. Oh, no, he missed the impact. He still gets him, though. He still gets him. It's a good recovery. Oh, he got hit. All right, all right. Losing a little bit of time there. Still in the lead, though. So there's only 2 stages left in the game. We got refights in the next stage, a very, very, very short stage followed by refights. And we got Wily himself in the final stage, also with a short stage before. So the refights you're going to see are a little bit different. I think Chelney's going to go for a Tundra version of Impact. If he does, that's insane, and I'm almost positive he is. This is so insane. Like, why? This is the fastest version of the fight, though. Oh my god, he gets it. That is such a good fight. And, like, he has to know, like, If I get this, if I don't get this, I'm losing 16 seconds and I'm probably behind. Like, oh my god. Moo going for the more standard fight. Chelney going through Bounce Man again. Moo getting a good impact. Yeah, refights are really tense. I finally had a good refights recently, and I had an enormous gold split because I normally screw something up. Even then, it's still like there's more time to save. Slightly different order here, so it looks like they've evened up, but actually Chelney is a Robot Master ahead. Moo has not done bounce yet. Cool sync though. Actually, really cool sync. Chelney going into block. This is going to be the same fight as before. You are going to see two different refights in addition to impacts, which is slightly different. You're going to see a different torch because they've used up a lot of their Tundra, so they can't just do a full Tundra torch. So they're going to work in a Mega Buster shot into there to finish off torch. And you're also going to see, from Chelney at least, you're going to see a different blast fight because he doesn't have enough Tundra. He doesn't have enough Tundra to do the blast fight normally, so he's going to do a Mega Buster and torch version of the blast fight. It's about as fast, but it's a lot harder to do, so you're usually just going to do the Tundra version. Chelney is doing the fastest version of the boss fight though, or the boss refights. Oh, and Tundra's different because you have Fuse, which is his weakness. So it does speed up the fight a few seconds to use Fuse. See, Moo right there on your left screen, he just hits Torch with the red Buster, and that's the one that's important. The blue one actually doesn't really matter. You need to hit him with the red one. Shoutouts to whoever just subbed to Chelney and scared everyone in this chat, including myself. Oh no! Chelney, what happened? Chelney's losing some time there. That's what happens. Torchman is really a pain in the butt. Oh my god. His shots kill, like, block your shots too. They're really a pain in the butt. I think the sub might have actually messed Chelney up, I'm not sure. Moo having a bad fuse here too, though. This is not the fuse you want to see. So, he had an opening, but it kind of like he gave it right back. That is an intentional damage boost from Chelney's screen. There we go. And Chelney is going to be done 8 robots in a little second. He's just going to have to walk right over into the teleporter and he's done. 33:03, I think it was. A little hard to tell exactly when it splits there. Moo is right behind him though. I think this is his last refight. Now Wily, there's 2 forms to Wily, yep. So about 17 seconds behind. Well, it's only one stage, it's not a very long stage, but it's not unthinkable if something bad were to happen here that Moo could make a comeback. Like for example, if Chelney fell there. Fortunately, he did not. I don't wish it on anyone. So there are some platform cycles here in this stage that you're trying to make. Because there's a long funnel at the bottom that you drop down straight into. And if you just barely don't make it, you get to sit there on the platform and slowly go down and think about all the time you're losing. Yeah, like you be dropping down that tunnel just waiting. Now with Wily himself, you're going to be doing Impact and Acid, and they're actually finally going to use the Acid Shield weapon. This is the only time it appears in the speedrun. Moo realized he missed that cycle, so he tried to use a little speed here to catch it, but he couldn't. He's kind of be praying for Chelney to make a mistake here. So the Acid Shield itself, not so much the shots, but the Acid Shield itself does a ton of damage to Wily, but it also requires you to kind of just ram your face into Wily. So it's scary because you're going to lose a lot of health. Hopefully Chelney can manage this capsule fight. It's going to be really close here. One more. There you go. Chelney takes it with a 34-37. That is a sick time. And Moo, I told you, he's not that far behind him.
Give up, Wily.
Chelney only... How far is that off his PB? 23 seconds off his PB. Holy crap. Moo finishing it up here.
Enough! You can't fool me that easy.
And yeah, Moo with the time at 35:06. That's so close. That's only 21 seconds off his PB. Holy crap. That was such a close race. If any of you didn't believe me, get your GGs in chat. Wow. So I'm gonna see if these guys want a interview. And we've got Moo coming in a second here. I'm still waiting on Chelney. I imagine he'll be down for an interview. Like, I'm so impressed. Getting a 34 in a race, can you imagine? Like, that time, if that was Chelney's PB, that would still be almost a top 10 time. That would be 12th place on the leaderboards. Which, by the... Hello.
Oh, man.
Oh my god, that was so close. I was so tense at the end.
I gotta say, I was really upset with myself after Carter's race because I had a sloppy run, and I felt like that was a race that I should have done better in at the very least. But this race, even losing, like, that's how I wanted to go out in this tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. That is it was so tense. You were not that far behind through most of the race.
I had it open on my phone. I was like, okay, neither of us has had like a terrifying choke somehow. This is ridiculous for a race.
Like a low 35 and actually like a mid 34 in a race. And I'm just like holding my head imagining, wow, getting a 34 in a race.
The fact that I got like a low 35 and I lost with that, I'm just like, you know what? Hats off to Chelney. He definitely earned it, man. He blew it out.
That's only 21 seconds from your PB, if I'm counting right?
23 according to my splits.
Wow, that's intense.
I was very, very happy with my performance. I had mistakes. I'm a little upset. Like, I had spaghetti in bounce. I had to go all the way up. I missed the cycle. I lost 10 seconds on the stage portion of Wiley. But didn't die in impact. Didn't die in time. A lot of my stages were really close to my golds, just barring RNG.
Yeah, it was actually really I was so shocked watching the thing. So I think the only time that I was really like, ooh, was the impact. Chelney got a really good impact, especially the boss fight. So I think you were about 10 seconds behind coming out of impact, but you were close. I think after blast, you were only like 6 seconds behind or something like that. And even going into Wiley, Chelney actually, I don't know if you saw, he missed the torch quick kill. He had to sit there and wait out the power gear. And I was biting my teeth. I was like, oh my god, MooMoo's going to catch up. Like, we could be synced going into Wiley 4.
I couldn't tell whenever he messed up. I was honestly a little more focused on my run, and anytime I looked over, I just saw him still ahead of me. So I was like, I don't know how much time I've lost or gained on him. I noticed that I was like a boss behind most of the time. Like, he would be done with the boss as I was entering.
Absolutely. I'm still trying to see. I haven't been able to reach Chelney yet.
Yeah, you'd have to go to his Twitch. He keeps Discord off for helps his computer run better.
I'll try one more time to invite him here. Actually, I realized I may not be able to. So while we're waiting, I just want to point out there is a leaderboard at megamanleaderboards.net. There is also a YouTube tutorial by Moo himself, who just got a 35, so I can vouch for that that he knows what he's doing. And that is at Strats, the YouTube channel, and that has a very good video guide on how to speedrun this game and get a really competitive time just off, watching that and learning the strats. I also want to point out, thank you for whoever links the challenge page, and give both these runners a follow. These guys are really competitive runners. I doubt this is the last of Mega Man 11 you're going to see from either of them. Especially, I know Chelney is like on a tear recently. Ever since earlier in the tournament, and I'll leave it at that. He's gone on a real big practice grind, and he's improved way more than he already was, which was already really good.
I can tell his consistency has shot up quite a lot.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen the man's practice routine, but it's like, I think it's like 5 or 6 hours of practice. Just practice. So he can actually start or run.
I have not gotten to watch a lot of his streams, but every day I see that notification pop up. He's streaming. I know he's practicing. I know he's sitting there for hours and hours. That's the kind of stuff that you do. 6 to 8 hour streams of practicing when you're grinding for you're gunning for second, third place for.
By the way, I saw Twitch chat asking about Facet CC and mentioning that he's not in the tournament. He was on a break from streaming in general, I think, when the tournament kind of signed up, so he kind of missed it. And QTT6 is currently speedrunning Resident Evil, so he didn't sign up either. So those are two people I think we were all hoping to see that didn't make it in. But Facet CC, I will point out, is derusting right now. He's in the process of derusting. So expect to see PVs from him maybe in a week or so.
Definitely keep an eye out on him. He's going to be performing at a marathon soon. He's definitely not going to go for Babby strats. He's improving his strats on top of derusting.
All right, so I don't know if Chelney is joining us. He might not be able to get. So let's see what else we got on speed gaming here, because we're probably going to need to wrap it up. Yeah, in a little bit. So we got a Zelda 1 randomizer coming up at 10 on Speed Gaming 1. There's also another one on what channel is this? Speed Gaming 4. And there's a link to the past daily race on Speed Gaming 2. And a Super Mario 3 randomizer on Speed Gaming 3. So full house. That's pretty impressive. Oh, there was something else I meant to say. Oh yeah, the bracket. So unfortunately, this was a losers round match. So Moo shockingly is out of the tournament. Despite, making it to the final 6. So the people left in the tournament, we have Carter Freak and Reebs, the last 2 people in the winners bracket who are going to play. Winner goes on to winners finals, and loser goes straight to the last round of the losers bracket. Chelney is going to move on and play the winner of some guy named Sage Hero and Ina 5MK. And that match is actually going to be tomorrow at noon. Don't ask me how I know.
Good luck.
Yeah, that's going to be intense. I know he's practiced a lot, but this is actually a rematch. He's practiced a lot, and I practiced a lot. And I think both our PBs have improved about a couple minutes since the last time we played in the first round of the tournament. So that'll be a lot of fun. Any last words, Moo?
Like I said, I honestly, I couldn't have gone out a better way. Good luck to the rest of the guys in this tournament. I feel really good about that race. I'm super content.
Awesome. And excited to see more speedruns from you. And Shovel Knight as well.
Oh yeah. I'm not done with Mega Man, that's for sure. And I definitely have to keep up my shovel grind.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for watching out there. Again, if you like what you saw, you want to join us speedrunning Mega Man, you can join us at megamanleaderboards.net. We have a Discord. You can ask us any questions, tell us why we're wrong about everything. And have a good night.
Take it easy.